What is up, awesome people? For tonight, I'm bringing you another RU battle that I managed to grab over on my Twitter account, and this one was up against Nathan. Alright, so before we jump into the battle, quick question of the day. Who is your favourite type of Pokemon? Leave it in the comments section below. And without further ado, let's jump into the battle. Alright, so same as before, this battle was quite intense, was quite fun at the same time as well. Very interesting Pokemon was used in this battle. Anyways, Nathan's going to lead off with an Moldo, and I'm going to lead off again with my anti-lead Ambipom. So when I think Moldo, I automatically think Stealth Rock lead, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, and Stone Edge is usually the moveset that it usually runs. I think it gets knockoff this gen with as a tutor move. So anyways, I go for the Taunt there, but this one actually goes straight for the X-Scissor, so I'm like, oh, so maybe it's not a Stealth Rock lead, or they predicted the Taunt lead there. Anyways, go for the knockoff there, and actually had a choice band, so I'm like, hot damn, max attack, max speed, a Moldo with remaining in health most likely, or it's a max health, max attack with Aqua Jet running on this set. So anyways, I go into my Rhyperior here, because I know a Moldo isn't particularly going to like a Rhyperior, but at the same time I'm trying to bait him to go for an Earthquake so I can get the weakness policy up, but I think he predicted that this Rhyperior has weakness policy on it, so he goes for the knockoff there, knocks off my weakness policy, so I'm like, well, so much for that idea. So he's going to swap out there because he knows Moldo's not particularly going to like a Rock Polish Rhyperior, plus he did predict the Earthquake there, which is pretty obvious, I will admit that, and Weezing's definitely going to negate that with Levitate ability. So I'm forced to swap out there because I don't particularly want my Rhyperior to be Will-O-Wisp, and I know the only Pokemon on my team that can actually withstand a Weezing is my Jublade. Can take any toxic moves like a Sludge Bomb, but if this Weezing's carrying Fire Blast, my Jublade is not going to have a fun time. So Weezing's going for the Infestation there to deal a little bit of residual damage to my Jublade. Initially it doesn't do any damage at all to Jublade, but as times, in between turns, it's definitely going to rack up some damage. So because the burn, I'm predicting I'm going to have to do at least 2 Sword Dance to actually do some decent damage to this Weezing. Right, so Infestation there is definitely going to hurt. Start wearing down my Jublade, plus that burn as well. And as I figure, this Weezing's definitely carrying Fire Blast. So it's one of those common Weezing sets that you see. It's got Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Sludge Bomb, and Fire Blast. So I'm going to set up another Sword Dance there. I just want to do as maximum damage as I can to this Weezing. I definitely need to wear this thing down a little bit before I can send in my next Pokemon. So burn damage and Infestation brings my Jublade down to 7 health, luckily. Go straight for the Shadow Sneak there and deal as much damage as I can just before that Jublade goes down. It does about under quarter damage there to Weezing, so that's fantastic. I'm happy with that. So Infestation there just to conserve a little bit of PP there for Weezing. Black Sludge is its item, and Burn's going to take up my Jublade. So again, I'm not really thrilled about losing my defensive wall this early in the game, but Jublade didn't really make much of a difference on this battle, so that was great. Anyways, Helios is going to send in. This is Choice Specs with Timid Nature, and Surf is definitely going to take down that Weezing. Weezing did not particularly like that at all since it is a defensive wall, so that's great. His defensive wall is down, and one great major counter to my team. Right, so a Moldo comes in, so I'm like, well, that's interesting. Unless this thing was carrying Aqua Jet, but then realised he always had dry skin, and that was about the only reason why I would figure a Moldo would come in. Or as I said, if it's max speed, max attack, maybe they thought they could outspeed my Helios, but regardless, that goes down. Alright, so Grand Ball comes in, and that's going to intimidate my Helios. Not going to particularly matter too much because Helios gets a special attack. I'm going to swap out there because I'm definitely predicting an Earthquake here, so I'm going to go into my Rhyperior. Rhyperior does have Solid Rock, so that's going to definitely at least halve the damage of Earthquake a little bit, plus Rhyperior does have some nice natural defense, even with no EVs in it. Takes it quite well, considering. Go straight for the Iron Head here, and Grand Ball being probably max health, max attack. It lives it with just in a little bit in the red, but badly. So Power Up Punch there to raise Grand Ball's attack. I do manage to live that one, luckily. And it's Life Orb, so there goes down Grand Ball. So Grand Ball bites the dust pretty quickly. Alright, so next up is Skeptile, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be a bit scary, so it's definitely Mega Skeptile, so these things are definitely ones to be feared in RU. They usually carry max special attack and max speed with Giga Drain. Usually they carry like maybe Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power Fire for any other grass types that try and swap in on it, but regardless, Rhyperior, I had to keep my Rhyperior because I didn't particularly want to swap in my Aromatisse just in case it was like a 2-hit KO if it was like Crazy Modest or something. Anyway, so I swap out his Skeptile there and go straight into his Steelix, so I'm pretty prepared for this, plus I did see that coming, so I'm going straight for the Calm Mind here, raise my special attack and special defense by +1. I do have a bit of a plan here, and plus I didn't get to show off my Aromatisse in the last video, so this Aromatisse is a little bit different to any other Aromatisse that you might see. It's a bit more of a bulky sweeper than just special defensive wall. So that +1 hit power ground is definitely a nice 2-hit KO there. Gyro Ball's not going to do too much at all to Aromatisse. It's definitely going to get power down an awful lot because Aromatisse is not fast at all, and neither is Steelix, so the difference between speed was definitely not enough to power up that Gyro Ball. So I think he was just relying on pure power alone there, which was good. I was a bit worried it might have had Iron Head or something, which would have definitely pounded my Aromatisse pretty hard. Alright, so B-Barrel comes in, so I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. So hidden power there, ground there again, which is still going to hurt B-Barrel. A little bit of leftover recovery there from Aromatisse. Alright, so next is this B-Barrel going Yawn. So I'm like, okay, that's probably one of the more common B-Barrel sets that I see. It's got Yawn and a whole bunch of annoying supporty, statusy, flinchy moves. So Headbutt's probably the next thing I'll see. So I don't want to stick around for a Yawn because I need my Aromatisse for that Steelix and for that Skeptile as well. So I'm going to send that out and send in my Sharpedo. And yeah, this thing does have Headbutt, so it's going to try and flinch my Sharpedo, but since I will outspeed it, it's definitely not going to happen. But it's got Quick Claw. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So Quick Claw Yawn there makes my Sharpedo drowsy, and Waterfall will definitely take out this B-Barrel. Plus, I was expecting it to swap into Skeptile as well there, so it was still good that Waterfall was enough to take out that B-Barrel. Alright, so Speed Boost there to raise my Sharpedo speed by +1, and Skeptile comes out again, so I don't particularly want to swap out again, so I'm going to Mega Evolve here and deal as much damage as I can, because I know I can definitely outspeed this Skeptile with a +1 in speed, hopefully given that it's not a timid nature Skeptile, which it's not, which is good. So Poison Jab here, and that's going to do an awful lot of damage there to Skeptile. Skeptile just living there in the red, and Giga Drain is going to take out that Sharpedo, and that's good because it's not going to get exactly a lot of health back from that either, so it brings it back into the low oranges, and Sharpedo does go down. Alright, so it's getting pretty close here, so Aromatisse coming back out because I know I can stop at least Dragon Pulse, and Giga Drain isn't exactly going to do too much to this Aromatisse. It's about 4 to 5 hit KO here, maybe a little bit more once I set up my Calm Mind. So one Calm Mind there, bring it to +1, special attack and special defense again, and plus that is going to lower down that Giga Drain a little bit more. I could have gone straight for the Draining Kiss here, but I actually wanted to just let that Skeptile get a little bit of health up and then Drain Kiss everything back and go nom on my health, just in case that Steelix did hit me pretty hard with like Stone Edge or something. So Skeptile's back into the green, but it's not particularly going to matter because Draining Kiss is going to come along and nom, and Skeptile goes down. And that's going to bring me back to about 3/4 full health there as well, which is nice. More leftover recovery there, so I can really pretty much say that Aromatisse is back to full health, which is great because I need that for the upcoming Steelix. I think this is his last Pokemon as well, and that's already down into very low health. And I'm going to outspeed as well and go straight for Hidden Power Ground, and that should be Steelix down, and I think that's his last Pokemon, which means it's GG. Indeed it is. So yeah, that was a great fun battle. I definitely love seeing interesting Pokemon like B-Barrel coming onto the field. Granbull, again, doesn't get an awful lot of love, so it's nice seeing Granbull popping up every now and again. Then a Moldo definitely threw me off at the start there. As I said, I predicted that to be a Stealth Rock setup with Rapid Spin support, but no, it was a Choice Banded with, as I said, probably max attack, maybe max health, or it could have been max speed as well. I'm probably, as I said, probably predicting that the reason why I swapped in a Moldo to Heliolisk is because he was going to go for the Aquajet and realised Heliolisk may have had dry skin, and of course, as you saw in the last video, that is correct. Heliolisk does have dry skin, so that would have stopped even if it was going to go for the Aquajet there. Other than that, I don't really know why else would he swap in a Moldo. Skeptile definitely would have been scary if I didn't have my Aromatisse around. Other than that, it wasn't actually... Oh wait, that Wheezing, yeah. I didn't really have much to swap into Wheezing. I didn't want to swap in Aromatisse. I don't really know how well Aromatisse would have liked a Sludge Bomb. Even if it did poison me, like, if it didn't do that much and it did poison me, I did have Aromatherapy on that Aromatisse as well, so that probably wasn't much of a problem, but it was just the recovery part. I can't hit it with Hidden Power Ground, I can't hit it with Draining Kiss, so Aromatisse definitely wasn't a great swap in there. As I said, Jubilee was about the only great swap in for it, and it did its job at least. It managed to weaken Weezing enough for Heliolisk to come in, surf it with Choice Specs and take it down. I don't think if I didn't bring in Jubilee, I don't think it would have lived badly if it was on full health with that surf. But anyways, that's pretty much it for tonight's video. So as always, thank you so much for taking the time over your day to check out this video. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out my previous Wi-Fi battle that was up against Jay Butters. That was another RU battle. That was a Trick Room team that I went up against. That was an excellent battle indeed. Quite a very nerve-wracking one. As I said, I was shaking throughout that one. And if you like what you see, make sure to stick around for future episodes. And another thing before you go, make sure to answer the question of the day, which was, who is your favourite Pokemon type? And all your answers, leave them in the comments section below, and let's see which type everyone likes. And of course, everyone should know I am definitely a dark type preference there. But anyways, as always, this is LadyKrimZen saying ciao for now, not forever. Ciao!